The goal of this video is to show how I built, well, a portal cube. It's not terribly hard, but it is a bit time consuming. Well, the starting point is obviously having a cube. In my case I wanted to make a cube that opens, so, well, one side has to be slightly different. It's nothing special, just the side with the slight cut so that you can put them together, and I strongly advise against using the mechanism I picked. Basically, if you want to go for a mechanism like this, where you have a sliding thing, use a single peg. Don't use two pegs, use a single peg, because two pegs is just a pain in the ass to get under control. But yeah, it's nothing special. 5 sides like this. Four of them need the cut for my mechanism. If you want to use a different mechanism, guess you'll have to do the cuts accordingly. And the top one, which in my case is different because, well, opening mechanism. Then the actual portal thing. The basic idea is fairly simple. You glue these parts, these as well, and then there's all of this that personally I'd advise to glue it like from the back, and then like this, and then to add the little, you know, like the stair effect. Where it is. Okay. So basically these two layers and then this one on top. And once you're done with that, you get basically this, put it down there in the middle, and you've got a basic side. If you want to make a companion cube instead of the storage cube, it's, well, fairly easy. You just cut a heart out in this one instead of this. Instead of this you have pink, instead of this you have pink, and instead of the blue things you have pink. In my case, since I want to make a box that you want to be able to tell which side is up, the companion cube wouldn't do because it has a clear side up. After gluing everything, you get this. It's a lot easier to glue the parts if you have like a sheet of paper to glue them on before you glue the entire thing here. Then you move to the corners. Not the corners, the sides, the things that will cover the mechanism. So how to make them? It's fairly simple. I'm using K-line, 2 parts that will form the corner. Then I take out the paper on one side, and then I use a hot wire to cut between the 2 paper edges. And there you go. Same thing here, except there's this back cut too. you have another piece for the sides. Then you glue, well, you can actually paint it if you want, but I chose to glue cardboard. I glued this piece in a single piece to reinforce the union between the two, and then I glue bit by bit the other pieces until it's completely covered in cardboard. And then once all of this is done, they'll go around the cube, and then only the corners will be missing. Okay, so with these little bits in place, the only part left is the corners. I did them by first cutting this piece, then I cut out the top and this thing here to have guidelines, glue it on top of another layer, peel off the hard layer here and leave it in the bottom. This will essentially mean that I can take the hot wire and just press it against the two surfaces that the hot wire can't cut through, and there you go. I can now cut the shape that I want from, oops, right, need to cut it too. This way I can make the rough shape for 1/3 of the corner. And another cut. Basically you keep doing it all around, you cut here, and eventually you get something like this. Well, minus the cardboard. Then I covered the thing with the cardboard pieces that well, that are supposed to go there, and then there's a final step where you need to cut the extra off. This, I guess I could have glued another thing here to guide it, but I'm confident in my my hands, so basically keep it steady, go all the way there. Remove this part. Basically just remove all the extras to make the actual final piece, and once you have the final piece you need 3 of them to combine them into a corner. And once you combine them into a corner, you might not have a perfect fit. If you don't have a perfect fit, just, you know, take them apart and cut a little bit more. Like if you have this one and this one, these two actually fit rather nicely, so no more cutting required. So when you're gluing the 3 of these, I advise having a cube or a corner to put it against. I used this cube because I felt rather confident that I wasn't going to get it dirty, but if you're not too confident, you could use a different cube, a different corner. And basically I just put glue there and there and there, let it dry a little bit to get it squishy, and then I just pressed them all against each other and held them in place to get the corner, and you get something like this, except for that little thing. That little thing is missing, so what I did is I used the extras, like these little bits. I glued the tiny little triangle on top of it, and then you can cut to shape so that it can fit in there and cover the little hole. Now we just need to make 8 of these, which means 24 of these. And you've got the corners. And here's a finished product. Once you glue the corners in, you have a finished companion cube, like you saw at the beginning. I guess the only thing I didn't show at the beginning was opening it. You unlock both sides, and then you remove the top. I didn't detail the middle, the interior, like I just left it, you know, blank. So it's very... What the...